There was a moment in my journey to get here where I did all the stuff, right? Like all the plans that I made when I first left high school. I went to college. I left college, I got the job. I excelled in college so that I could get the best job, and I took the highest paying job, and I showed up for my family. I sought after the husband and the thing and the stuff, and I did all the things, and I put myself on a trajectory to do stuff. And then one day I'm sitting in my cubicle and I realized deeply that I wasn't on the plan, not even that was best for me, but really my divinely assigned plan. And it's one of those things where you've got to get to this moment where you accept that you did not put yourself here, and so you are here for a reason. And if you are here for a reason, then kind of your job is to get to the point where you know with clarity what that reason is, so you can then go do and execute the things inside of your particular wheelhouse to do. And realistically, nobody can call you to task for that. Nobody can say, hey, there's a message inside of you and you need to get that out into the world. Only you know the truth. Only you know if there's something that is burning on the inside of you, keeping you up at night. If there's something that you keep saying to your friends and your family that they're rolling their eyes about because they're tired of hearing about it. I guarantee you that if that is happening to you, there's a section of the world that is waiting to hear from you. You just haven't met them yet. And that's no fault or problem. It just means you need a vehicle to start talking to them. That's called a brand. And that's why we do that. That's why we build brand. It's so that you have a vehicle. So in my own life, my brand has taken, it's taken iterations and iterations and iterations to get here, because that's kind of the deal. The deal is that whatever you choose first is going to put you on the trajectory and the path to get to where you are going to end up last, right? And even where you get that you think is last, that could end up shifting as well. The big thing here is that we are all here under divine assignment. And if I am here under divine assignment, that means my God-given path is really the best path for me. And so if that includes a message, a brand, a business, then who am I to say I'm not qualified to do that? Who am I to say, no, I'm not going to do that? When really there's something bigger at work here. And I know that that's a really big thought. I'm sitting here looking at the camera trying to tell you, whatever about God and his purpose for your life and the whole bit. It's almost an easier thought to think that you are here for a reason that has been convoluted because of your history. In my own life, my history taught me that I wasn't worth it or worthy in either case. And so it took a long time for me to rebel against the path that had been set before me by my own family influence, right? In my family, you just went to college. We weren't talking about this. There was no such thing as a conversation about not going to college. So when I took time off of college, I didn't take it really to pursue anything. I went to work for a children's museum. I ditched the plan to go make super minimum wage because could. But what that tells me in hindsight is that I was not living my dream. Because you can't just give your dream away that easily. But that's my hindsight knowledge. It's that when I was faced with finish the plan, the dream, or what I thought was the dream, or make minimum wage with no real future or anything, I was like, cool, I want to do that. Let's do that. Anything but this. Anything but this. And so in hindsight, that gives me the understanding and revelation I was never living in my own version of that dream. So now I come back to school after human crisis and life or whatever to finish the dream, and I go at it because I'm a high achiever. High achiever is going to achieve wherever you put us, period, right? It doesn't matter if you put us in a mud pile, we're going to achieve in the mud pile, period. That's what we do. So I'm a high achiever, so I come back to school and I'm like, cool, I'm going to achieve. I'm going to achieve. I'm going to achieve. It was never about what's the vision for my life. So fast forward a few years, I'm into my job. The job is a byproduct of the achievement, desire, and drive. That's really only a byproduct of trying to complete something that seemed to be part of the plan, when really my 18-year-old self subscribed to something that set me on a trajectory forward. Nowhere in there did anybody say to me, hey, stop and reevaluate what your 18-year-old self decided to do. I don't know about you, but I don't think I trust my 18-year-old self to hand me a sandwich at this point in my life. But that's hindsight. The benefit of hindsight is that it's always 20/20. You see perfectly clearly in reverse. So now, obviously, I understand I was at a job, and the reason why the job felt uncomfortable and not like me and not authentic and not divinely aligned or assigned is because it never was. I was always on somebody else's path. Now, big picture, God doesn't waste anything. Full stop and period. I love being able to tell people I have an engineering degree. It's so funny how many contracts that's gotten me over the course of my career. It's ridiculous. God does not waste anything. My first business was not a divine assignment. It was something that I picked up out of panic because I quit my job. Did I say that part? I quit the corporate job. So one day I'm in my cube and I'm like, this is not me. This is not for me. And I feel divinely called away from this. And so I leave. I put in my 2 weeks notice and that's it. But now I'm free falling. No plan, no nothing. So I start a business based on a skill that I've started to acquire and a desire to be creative. So I created a graphic design company and I've struggled my way into clients. But now I have picked up the habit of struggle because I'm not in alignment. So all of this comes together to talk about why I teach and coach and consult what I teach, coach, and consult. Because my life has given me the 20/20 understanding of how to recognize these patterns in other people's lives and also how to help you circumnavigate that entire thing because it's completely unnecessary. The biggest thing, if I was gonna say any one last final thought about why my story is relevant to you at all, is to say that your best life literally comes from being in alignment with your divine calling. The only way for you to get in alignment with your divine calling is for you to take a minute, step back, uncover the expectations of other people, including your 18-year-old self that's probably set you on a trajectory to wherever you are right now, and abandon it all, allow everything to come back on the table, and execute what comes up for you next. Now, yes, have I developed systems and processes and all those things to be able to help you navigate that? Sure, but you could never, ever, ever buy any of those things if this moment makes you realize that it is something for you to consider. If you can honestly say that you've ever had a moment where you felt like your life was not your own, I promise you, you're one, not by yourself, and two, I have been there. I've been there. This whole thing that I just kind of recounted for you in hindsight is really an almost 20-year journey of being able to get here. And every piece of that journey was necessary. But it wasn't just necessary for me, it was necessary so that I could help somebody else in their own journey to be able to develop and build a life that they love. Because ultimately what I know is that you deserve to live a life that you love, not because you've earned it, but because God created you for it. He created you for you to have and live a version of your life that is more than you can even imagine. And disqualifying yourself from what God has divinely already given to you is really just rebellion in the wrong way. I count myself a rebel all the time, right? But if God has already said, hey, you, I put you here so that you can have a great life, then why would you reject that? Just because somebody said something happened, your 18-year-old self in its not fully formed brain made some choices. You don't even have full brain function at 18 years old. Why are we living on these 18-year-old decisions when we're 45? Let's challenge some stuff. Maybe some stuff sticks and that's great, but maybe there's a lot that doesn't. So big picture, just don't be afraid to challenge everything so that you have the opportunity to change anything.